begins with the following tag team match scheduled for one fall. And it is for the VCW Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers. They hail from Woodbridge, Virginia, at a combined weight of 438 pounds. Drew Blackwood, Tyler Root, the Helm!
It is the holiday season, and we bring you Tidings of Destruction, our annual spectacle of violence that ends the calendar year for VCW. We will find out who has been naughty or nice, and if they will get their just desserts as our last event of 2025. I am Jason Heat, and I will be your host tonight alongside my colleague Brandon Metheny, currently in the ring doing ring introductions.
Introducing their opponents at a combined weight of 440 pounds. They are the reigning and defending VCW Tag Team Champions. Too Nice Trace Parker, Smooth Bob Mitchell. They are Nice and Smooth.
Last month, VCW made our debut in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And that event started off with a tag team title match, Nice and Smooth. Too Nice, Trace Parker and Smooth Tom Mitchell defending against the Helm of Tyler Root and Drew Blackwood. That match could only be referred to as a barn burner. And while the Helm were not successful in unseating Nice and Smooth as the tag team champions, they so impressed VCW officials that they have been granted an immediate rematch for the tag team titles. I am joined now by Brandon Metheny for this Virginia Championship Wrestling tag team title rematch to start Tidings of Destruction.
Let me tell you something, Jason. I have been around VCW for a long, long time. I have never seen a team that is not the champions get a rematch so fast. Clearly the Helm impressing and showing that killer instinct right now, going right after the champs.
Not wasting a moment and showing that even to take your ring jackets off, you cannot afford to look away from your opponents, and a meeting of the minds between the members of the Helm.
Well, there's no question the Helm thought they were millimeters from winning the titles last time. They're out to prove tonight they are the best.
No thought whatsoever. They were millimeters away. Tag made in now to Smooth Tom Mitchell, the black label of professional wrestling, because he goes down that smooth. And here is Too Nice, Trace Parker with the assist.
And I continue to be so impressed at the tag team ability, the connection that these two men have as tag team champions, their ability to know where each other are and prey on them in the ring. It's
Tag
second to none.
Now it's Trace Parker in as Tyler Root representing the Helm, and after a strong start for the Helm, Nice and Smooth seemingly taking advantage, but the Helm now the tag made in to Drew Blackwood.
Well, that's the danger right there we just saw of having just wrestled the Helm, is they know what they're going for, but Nice and Smooth pulling those beautiful double drop kicks out of their pocket, and now back in control.
It's very true. The Helm surprised Nice and Smooth last time, but this time Nice and Smooth know exactly who they are getting in the ring with. First cover.
And Nice and Smooth being very smart here, Jason, making sure their offense impacts both members of the Helm, trying to get both of them down and get a win as fast as possible.
Drew Blackwood, a kick to the midsection to Trace Parker. Blind tag now there by Tyler Root. Trace Parker doesn't know, but he found out quick.
Yeah, I mean, boy, that was a hard shot to the back of the head. I mean, if I were Tyler Root, I'd make off for a cover there, but he's just inflicting more damage on that bell that has been rung in Trace Parker's head.
Very heavy hands by both members of the Helm, and they've been at their most successful so far this match. When they attack from behind, they're doing a very good job of taking advantage when their opponents are distracted.
Yeah, I mean, I would not get into a slugfest with the Helm. They throw 2 strongest punches out there. A tag now bringing Drew Blackwood in. Trace Parker on the wrong side of town and in a bad position.
And it is live rounds only from the Helm as they seek to become the captains of the ship in the tag team division. Great job cutting the ring in half, but Drew Blackwood could have potentially gotten more than one there, but the referee was drawn to Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, the Helm doing their job a little too well there, getting the referee distracted, and when the recovery, he wasn't there to make the count. But still, Blackwood firmly in control right now.
Blackwood now knows he can get the job done. The question is, will he when the referee is fully present and accounted for?
Recover here.
Blackwood gets the cover. Precarious positioning there. They were very close to the ropes, but either Trace Parker didn't have the wherewithal to know or felt like he could more easily kick out. Tag made now to Tyler Root.
Very, very smart tag team wrestling here. I don't think it's been more than a minute, maybe a minute and a half that each member of the Hell has been in the ring before tagging out, staying very, very fresh out there. And Trace Parker really having a very, very bad time right now.
Brutal drop kick right to the jaw of Trace Parker. And your grandma's favorite wrestler's having a tough time of it tonight. 2 count there for Tyler Root.
Bobby would be absolutely devastated if she saw this happening to Trace Parker right now. Tom Mitchell trying to will his partner, but as long as Tyler Root's got that chin lock on, he's not going anywhere.
Not going to be a good night for grandparents all over the world if the Helm win the tag team titles. They are not the Bubby and Zadie demographic.
No, they are here to hurt people, and they're going to change the complexion of the tag team division if they win here.
Nice and Smooth have been great champs. This is their 5th defense of the tag titles as another tag here for the challengers, the Helm. We have seen Nice and Smooth defeat the Delinquents, the Faculty, Sexy and Blessed, amongst others, but this is their first rematch. Wait, no, it's not necessarily true. They did face the Delinquents several times.
They have, yes, and in fact it took several tries for them to finally get a fair match where they won the championships. But since they've been champions, this is the first time they've had a repeat challenger, and it's very clear that the Helm sort of know the playbook here.
And stepping on the headband, that's like kicking Santa's hat.
It's horrifically disrespectful. And it's what the Helm want. This could be it right here. 1, 2.
This time, Trace Parker was center of the ring, and now that poor headband taking as much punishment as Parker himself.
Very smart ring positioning by Drew Blackwood there.
I didn't realize that it was still Halloween because I think Tyler Root is now cosplaying as a member of Nice and Smooth.
I think he is mocking Nice and Smooth there, Jason. I think he is rubbing it in Trace Parker's face and also in Tom Mitchell's face. Tom Mitchell across the ring has had to watch his partner just get beat to death for the last several minutes. They didn't stop it.
Constant forearms by Drew Blackwood battering the chest of Trace Parker. That does a lot of damage. It also knocks the breath out of you, and again, depositing Parker right perfectly center of the ring.
But unless don't find that kick out on that one there, Trace Parker really getting worn down, really starting to be in a lot of trouble here. Desperately needs some sort of breather and needs to get tagged to Tom Mitchell.
There's been great placement there by Blackwood, but desperation or a resurgence. Trace Parker was able to take advantage, and now Enziguri.
The question is, can he get there? Are you seeing how little energy Parker has left? He makes the tag to Mitchell. Also, in comes Tyler Root.
The man with the most reach in the match, the tallest athlete. Smooth Tom Mitchell cutting through the Helm like a hot knife through butter.
Those back elbows, dangerous. Blackwood lands on his feet.
Well, tried to, but couldn't quite. That may have cost him because it is now 2-on-1, Helm versus Mitchell, but Mitchell is the one getting all the advantage.
Yeah, suddenly the tables have completely turned here. Nice and Smooth. Well, Tom Mitchell at least completely in control.
Fiddly roll by Tom Mitchell. No wasted motion into the moonsault. Smoothest moonsault ever.
Drew Blackwood with a very smart breakup of the pin there.
Well, that was an unintentional double team because Root literally launched Tom Mitchell off at the same time as Blackwood hit him right in the back of the head.
Unintentional or not, very, very effective. It's just that fast. Tom Mitchell is in a bad way, and the Helm lining up here.
The Helm was targeting Tom Mitchell, but instead Trace Parker took the bullet, and it was a live round.
Trace Parker is not the legal man. Referee Brendan Walker trying to explain to the Helm.
Self-sacrifice for the tag team titles. That was great strategy in the short term. It could cost Nice and Smooth in the long term.
Yes, that was a very, very smart heads-up play, but Tom Mitchell needs to take advantage of that now because Trace Parker, I think, is going to be down and out for some time.
But there's no one to tag. Both men are down. In fact, all 4 men are down.
The first man to get to his feet here is going to have a real advantage in this match.
If they're legal.
If they're legal, yeah, it's Tom Mitchell's still a legal man. I believe Drew Blackwood's the legal man for the Helm.
Everyone's struggling to get up, and these 4 men are reaching the same great heights as we saw at Strange Ways Brewing Company in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
I mean, just exchanging blows left and right all over the ring. Look, it is unconventional to give the Helm a rematch this soon, but they are proving why they deserved it and why they impressed the board of directors so much.
Tom Mitchell still the freshest man in the match, and he is proving that that's a great advantage to have in your back pocket.
Oh, just that fast. Nice Smooth turned around. Tom Mitchell with the pin.
And Nice and Smooth retain. Tom Mitchell and Trace Parker continue their run at the top of the tag division.
I gotta say, Jason, the tag team cohesion these 2 men show, that match turned on a split second. They saw where each other were. Trace Parker saw where Tom Mitchell was, immediately got in position to hit their tag team maneuver, finish off the match. It went from desperate to winning the match. Just incredible stuff.
They reclaimed the headband just like they retained their titles. 2025 ends not just smooth, but very, very nice for these 2 very nice boys.
The following contest is scheduled for 1 fall. Introducing first, he hails from Blacksburg, Virginia, and weighed in at 231 pounds, Diamond Victor Griff.
As much as a lot of us have been looking forward to this match as an athletic contest, as a circumstance, this is a really sad situation that has emerged here, as we may be seeing tonight the official end of the Golden Pinky Society. Whether they have been the tag team champions or not, over the last 3 years, the Golden Pinky Society has been the sun which the tag team division has orbited. And tonight we may see that sun go supernova as brother versus brother here in what is not a very happy holiday season for either Diamond Victor Griff or Benjamin Banks. I am Jason Heat. I'm joined by Brandon Metheny, who is currently performing ring announcer duties. There's been infighting, bitter recriminations, and now all that's left.
Introducing his opponent, he hails from New York, and weighing in at 295 pounds, the Money Train, Benjamin Banks!
All that's left is to see whether brother versus brother can bring these 2 men closer together, or whether this permanently severs the bonds, as the Money Train, Benjamin Banks, has a tradition here at Tidings of Destruction. It usually comes out as Santa Banks. that this is not a holly jolly Benjamin Banks tonight. Everything that has been going on between himself and Diamond Victor Griff, we are seeing the end.
Wait, you wait 1 minute. You wait 1 minute. You really think I'm the one that laid you out? After everything that we've been through. I know you got a lot going on in your life. I know you can't trust anybody. I know your emotions are running high. But look at who's right in front of you. And look at what we've been through. Think about all the things we've been through. Have I ever lied to you? When I told you, when we first hooked up as a tag team, when I told you, don't worry about it, we'll be champions. We did. 2 times over. Go further back. Go further back. Think back. Think back to when in this ring you won the Liberty Lottery. You won it. Who was back there? Who was waiting on you? Who was the first person to congratulate you when you won? It was me. Then remember that time that you had that idea to do that silly ass dance in the middle of this ring? But before you got the courage to do it, the one person that endorsed you, the one person that encouraged you, the one person that told you you need to do this in front of people, you need to give the people the money shuffle, it was me. Remember, you used to weigh over 400 pounds? Who got in your ear? Who told you? Not for wrestling, not for love, for your life, for your very life, for your well-being. Get your ass in the gym. I'm not responsible for what happened to you. I'm not your partner. I'm not your friend. I'm your brother. Let's put this behind us. We don't need to face each other. There's somebody that's turning, that's got this whole thing that's stirring a pot between us. So I'm going to extend my hand. Look at me, damn it. Look at me. Don't you turn your back on me. I'm going to put my hand out. You shake my hand. Let's move on from this. I don't think you heard me correctly, or maybe I didn't go about it the right way. We don't shake hands, we touch tips. Hold on.
Now look guys, look. You've been talking a lot, right? You've been talking for a long time. But this is pro wrestling, okay? They don't want to hear you talk. I don't care if you guys like each other. I don't care if you guys hate each other. I don't care about anything. We have a contracted match here tonight. You know what a contract is? A contract means if you don't wrestle tonight, I get to suspend both of you for 90 days. So you don't have a choice. You don't get to touch tips. You don't get to shake hands. You have to fight right here, right now.
How do we know you're not behind this whole thing? How do we know you're not the one that's the mastermind? Hey, we ruined your birthday celebration, remember that? I stole your shoes, remember that? We didn't embarrass you for years. So you finally got one over on us. You're the one that's been behind this.
No. I would love to take credit for that. I would love to, because I hate you. And I hate you even more. And I'm going to admit it was pretty funny watching him face down in the gutter with you coming up. Oh, Banks! What happened to you, Banks? What happened? But you're barking up the wrong tree. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Power outage.
We've lost power here, folks. I don't know if we're still on the air, but what on earth? Happening. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two masked men attacking Benjamin Banks and Diamond Victor Griff, it appears.
And Jerry Stefanitza seems to be cheering him on. And it is 2-on-1. We have no idea who these men might be.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Benjamin Banks back to his feet, trying to save Diamond Victor Griff.
It certainly seemed like the Golden Pinky Society may have been willing to put aside their differences for at least a moment in order to get their hands on arch nemesis Jerry Stefanitsis.
I'm shocked. I don't even know what is going on here. Jerry Stefanitsis, hang on a second. That looks like one of Diamond Victor Griff's elbow pad covers.
I'm not an official detective, but this certainly feels like evidence and potentially of a frame-up.
I would certainly say so. Perhaps these two masked men were behind the attack. That's the Hall Stars.
That's the men that used to be known as the Hall Stars. Those are James and Ross Hall, former VCW Tag Team Champions, and most recently, crooked officials operating on behalf of Jerry Stefanitsis.
They've been retired for years. I don't understand what they're doing here.
Well, they've been retired, but they've been on the payroll, and they've been on the payroll of one man. Did a little bit of digging after they have been so blatant in their discriminatory officiating, and it turns out these two men haven't been paid by VCW in months. They've been paid off the books by the private estate of Jerry Stefanitsis.
That is some excellent detective work, and I think fairly compelling and convincing evidence. Now putting the tassels back on, I guess the Hall Stars have returned as Jerry's personal hit squad?
Yeah, but to what end and to what effect?
This is quite elaborate to try to take out the whole big side. Does the hatred run that deep?
And the former Hall Stars bringing out those records.
These appear to be platinum records now. They used to be gold records.
There is no love lost whatsoever between Jerry Stefanitsis and the Golden Pinky Society. That man takes petty to a professional level, still not over the fact that the Golden Pinky Society ruined his 40th birthday 2 birthdays ago.
An exclamation point on a shocking return. Jerry Stefanitsis applauding the outside. I mean, as you said, Jason, I'm not a professional detective, but I think we can put the pieces together pretty easily here.
Jerry Stefanitsis, in addition to his years-long vendetta against Brandon Scott, has clearly been masterminding an emotional and mental breakup between the Golden Pinky Society, and he almost got away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky bond of brotherhood between the GPS.
That's the thing about Jerry Stefanitsis, though. I can't stand him, but I have to give him credit. He always has a backup plan, and clearly the Hall Stars were and are his backup plan, and Jerry Stefanitsis continues to stay one step ahead of the Golden Pinky Society.
But in the Golden Pinky Society, has the wedge been put between them too wide and too deep for them to ever really trust each other, even with very clearly the mastermind now out of the shadows? Can the Golden Pinky Society ever get back on the same page?
It's a question of what can and can't be repaired. And has that, as you said, has that wedge moved too far? Has that chasm opened too much, or can it be stitched back together? But right now, the brothers are laid out in the ring.
The question is whether the Golden Pinky Society are as shattered as those records over their heads.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our special guest ring announcer for the next match. He is the co-host of Coast Live on WTKR Channel 3, Chandler Nunley.
It's a real pleasure and a thrill to have Chandler Nunley here. He's going to be helping us out with the ring announcement duties for this next match. We needed a big personality to contain all the ego.
Wow, what a great crowd. Are you enjoying VCW Tidings of Destruction? We've got a great matchup for you next. Thank you, yes, I'm Chandler Nunley from Coast Live on Channel 3. It is my honor to be here with each and every one of you this evening. Who's ready for another match? The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 231 pounds, accompanied by his manager, Mr. Pantas, the Greek god Papadon.
The former VCW champion, the former Liberty champion, and the 2025 Liberty Lottery winner, the Greek god Papadon.
And a man who is not going to be very happy about that ring introduction, I can tell you from personal experience.
Accompanied by his kumbaro, Mr. Pantas.
Sorry, what was that word, Jason?
Kumbaro. It is Greek for, oh, you're being summoned.
Oh.
Brandon Metheny is now being ordered to hold the ropes. The kumbaro is the Greek equivalent of a consigliere, a wise man, a man of counsel. As Mr. Pantas, our former long-term commissioner, turning his back on the fans and decades of goodwill to join with the harbinger of Hellenic violence.
Maybe because you're from Virginia, you can't do it right. Hey, you want to get the taste left out of your mouth, Sunshine? So, announce me correctly. It's not Pantas, it's Mr. Pantas. And it's not Greek Papadon. That was flat, dude. Flat. Put some emphasis in your voice. Do it right. Silence! Let's give it another shot. Weighing in at 231 pounds, accompanied by his manager, Mr. Pantas, the Greek Papadon.
Second time, maybe the charm.
You think that's funny? You think it's funny? Huh? Again, you can't do it. Silence! Listen to me. You just proved why you're the co-host of your crappy TV show on your crappy channel. But I knew you were going to mess this up. I knew you were going to mess this up because you're just like each and every one of these hillbillies here tonight. So, I have the smartest man in the room, Mr. Pantas, Xcellence, come up with a proper introduction for the alpha and omega of professional wrestling, the Greek God Papadon. Hold on, let's do the happy. That one. So, last chance, Sunshine. Get it right, or I'm gonna break every tooth in your mouth. Do you understand, Captain? Silence! Hey, Kool-Aid! Sit down, Kool-Aid! Ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 231 pounds of extra cheese with all the toppings, accompanied by George Pepperoni Pantas, Caesar!
He's funny, he's brave, but he may not be bright, is Mr. Nunnally, and here's Brandon Scott, the actual opponent. Needs no introduction, because we're going to go straight to the match.
We are underway. Brandon Scott comes flying out of the back, protecting Mr. Nunnally.
And Chandler Nunnally joining us here at the desk. My goodness, with a mustache like that, I'm surprised you're not wearing burgundy.
Just a tense, a harrowing moment. Quite a first on the job for Mr. Nunnally. And Brandon Scott and Papadon fighting on the outside. I think you need to add Brandon Scott to your Christmas card list there, sir.
A wild scene here on the outside. This is a rematch from our debut recently in Fredericksburg, Virginia, as these two men went to a draw, and there was no draw whatsoever when Papadon's hand just hit that steel post. Steel's gonna win out over skin and bone every night of the week, and twice here on Grandview Street.
So I think Brandon Scott's hand when he gets Papadon's chest there, you gotta wonder how damaged your hand is. There's so many small bones and tendons that hitting that post can really, really damage.
Greek got Papadon first rolled into the ring to break the count, now rolled in the ring to try and escape Brandon Scott. To no avail. We are looking at two former Liberty champions, two former VCW champions, and we are looking, oh, Brandon Scott now with the cover at the current Liberty Lottery winner in Papadon, and most recently, the winner of the 2025 Dirty Money Cup in Brandon Scott.
I mean, you could hardly have a more star-studded or championship-laden match than you have between these two. A true classic, and we said it in Fredericksburg.
Pantas now, once again, physically interfering.
And paying dividends as Brandon Scott's chin bounces off the ring apron.
We saw George Pantas, Mr. Pantas, I'm sorry, I don't want to fine, deliver a low blow, shockingly, to Brandon Scott at the Liberty Lottery, and that really presaged this whole alliance between these two Grecian fellows.
It is, and it's another example of Jerry Stefanidis' machinations behind the scenes, convincing Mr. Pantas to turn on Brandon Scott, and then pairing these two up as a present for both of them, and showing really the benefit that can have as Mr. Pantas helps put Brandon Scott in a bad place and Papadon in control.
Yeah, the puppeteer king, Jerry Stefanidis, has his hands in a lot of pies, but particularly tonight, it's a pizza pie. It's a Little Caesars pizza pie.
That's you to say, not me. I did not say anything about pizza in this match, for the record.
These two men went to a draw, but it's Papadon saying that it wasn't a draw. It was that Brandon Scott couldn't beat Papadon, and that all the impetus on Brandon Scott to get the win tonight. It's one side of the story, but Papadon now getting just two in the ring.
I'm assuming Papadon does not believe that he couldn't beat Brandon Scott.
That's exactly right.
Of course not.
Papadon saying it is on Brandon Scott to prove that he can beat Papadon, not the other way around, even though the draw showed that both men extremely equal on paper and in the flesh.
Absolutely, this was a match that was backward there. And Mr. Pantas with the kendo stick choking Brandon Scott. Referee Brandon Walker needs to pay attention.
What a terrible side of Mr. Pantas we have seen emerge over the last several months, and I heard rumors that he was specifically incensed tonight because of Mr. Nunnally's involvement. Pantas says he is the only local celebrity that should ever be featured here at VCW.
We've seen, another cover from Papadon here.
Very close.
We've seen Mr. Pantas get upset about any and all perceived slights. You said this is a side we've never seen before, Jason. It's a side I didn't know existed. I am shocked. I've been shocked since July and continue to be shocked and appalled at what I'm seeing.
For decades, Pantas was the firebreaker against Jerry Stefanidis' machinations. Now there is no checks and balances. The system is broken, and Papadon looking to break the neck of Brandon Scott. Great lateral press does not get the intended result.
George Pantas, like Saruman the White, being tempted by power and going over to the dark side.
Papadon has a title shot against any champion he likes, anytime he wants, in his back pocket, but is currently engaging in this side quest against Brandon Scott. It was Jerry Stefanidis who brokered the deal between Papadon and Mr. Pantas. Unsurprising that their first target as a unit is the long-term nemesis of Mr. Stefanidis, Brandon Scott.
There's no way we can be anyone but Brandon Scott. Oh, quick, looking for a backslide here. This could be it. Just out of break. Yeah, the fact that they're after Brandon Scott is not surprising. There is a raw hatred for Brandon Scott from all the men involved here, and so it's not surprising. And a beautiful diving European uppercut. This could be it.
Shooting the half.
A fantastic cover by Papadon.
A lot of leverage on the legs, but Brandon Scott was able to still get it done. Now, we saw already tonight so much fallout from that 40th birthday party. Brandon Scott didn't attend. He is now being targeted by Papadon and Mr. Pantas. We saw the Golden Pinky Society. They were nearly driven to the brink and then beaten because of their behavior at that birthday party. Brandon, I think there's only one person who also sinned at that party and who hasn't received his comeuppance. I think he might be sitting next to me. Are you scared?
That's very rude to say about Mr. Nunley. It's his first night here with us. I didn't know he was invited to the party.
I think you better be worried, because when they finish with Brandon 1, they may go after Brandon 2.
Please stop putting ideas in their heads, Jason. Oh, a beautiful super kick right under the chin. And coming back with that lariat.
Papadon and Scott both down.
I mean, we said it before, these two men incredibly equally balanced, incredibly evenly matched, and we're seeing it.
Except that Pantas is out there with Papadon. So no matter how equal or even Papadon and Scott are, that is the difference, because when these two men fought at Strange Ways Brewing Company, the Kumbaro, George Pantas, was not present.
That is very, very true, and that perhaps is why it went to a draw. That was the thing that kept Papadon from getting the win. We'll see if it happens tonight.
We're going to see if Pantas is the difference maker here this evening. If two really are better than one.
I mean, when you're cheating, I think they usually are. And Scott getting the better of Papadon on that exchange.
Papadon down with that head fake. Wild swings by Papadon, and Brandon Scott getting combination offense with the strikes, and now looking next best thing, sliced bread number 2.
1, 2, just 2. And Papadon looking to perhaps go to the outside here, or at least get the ropes, pull himself up. He's in a bad way. He needs to catch his breath and perhaps consult with Mr. Pantas.
Recognizing that discretion may well be the better part of valor, rolling to the ropes, where ultimately, while he can be hurt, no risk of being taken for a fall, and instead dragging Brandon Scott head first to his level.
Using Brandon Scott's momentum against him, but Brandon Scott able to recover. Getting the legs, into the chin, and there's the lung blower. Oh, and all the way over. A devastating maneuver, Papadon landing on his head.
Brandon Scott now very, very close to getting the win on several occasions.
Brandon Scott needs to stay on the front foot here, continue to try to push the offense against Papadon and get the win. He's very, very close. He's got to get a little more out of it.
This alliance between Papadon and Pantas, definitely not only a marriage of convenience, but one of money and power. If they can't defeat Brandon Scott, how long does this unit last with egos like Papadon and Pantas involved, especially Papadon?
Yes, this is one of those situations where everything is perfectly hunky-dory as long as they're winning. And the second they lose a match, it could all go fall apart.
Well, they might not be about to lose. They might be about to turn this temple into a new Mount Olympus.
So this is where Mr. Pantas can really help Papadon, is to calm him down, get him focused back. This is where we've seen Papadon have weaknesses in his game.
If Mr. Pantas is able to allow Papadon to start keeping his cool, he will be worth all the money, all the percentages. That has been maybe the only flaw in Papadon's game, is that heated temper.
Yeah, if Pantas can do that, I think Papadon might be unstoppable. It's really remarkable to see these two working together, but we need to see some proof. We need to see a win come out of this, and thus far Brandon Scott putting up quite the fight.
Well, Brandon Scott now seeing stars like a cartoon character. Last ounce of an instant there for that kick out, and Papadon having an argument about numerology with our officials.
And Papadon very, very close there. That draping DDT has gotten the win for him before, but Brandon Scott, he may have kicked out, but he's barely moved. I think he's about out.
It could be a matter of when, not if, Papadon gets that 3 count on Brandon Scott, or the referee. If Brandon Scott can't respond and can't continue the fight, the referee may have to call this.
Obviously, at some point you have to protect the wrestlers from themselves. And I mean, just we see right there, couldn't even stand on his feet. Brandon Walker may need to get in there and stop this match.
Brandon Scott is nearly non-responsive, and at a certain point it is to the detriment of the athlete to allow him to continue despite his best interest.
I mean, this is part of the reason we have officials out there. It's to not just count 3, but to monitor for the well-being of the athletes.
Second win, Scott coming out.
He'll go back by a drop. He looks a little punch drunk on his feet right now.
A little bit woozy, having trouble capitalizing, but maybe a rest is what's in order. It's what's necessary. Slice of excellence!
And Brandon Scott, if he can, and Mr. Pantas paying dividends again. 1, 2, 3. This match should be over. Mr. Pantas very smartly striking Brandon Walker and not allowing the count to occur.
That's what, it's not even anymore. Whatever equanimity, whatever the word is, was between Papadon and Scott at Strange Ways. Pantas has completely changed the equation.
And the distraction, getting Brandon Scott's attention. Wait a second, where's Chandler going?
Well, you gotta be a brave man to wear a mustache in 2025, and now Mr. Nunnally is clearly showcasing that, earning the ire of Pantas. We got a tug of war.
And Papadon with that kendo stick.
Right into the roll-up! What a win for Brandon Scott!
And Papadon swinging for the fences, but not going to happen. Brandon Scott just misses the Greek God. Here's the thing, hoisted by his own petard, I don't know that Papadon needed that kendo stick to win that
match. Chandler Nunnally proved to be the equalizer to Mr. Pantas, and all things being equal, it does look like Brandon Scott is the better man.
And you got to wonder, is there trouble in paradise? Is Papadon going to be happy with Mr. Pantas after this?
Papadon can still be thrilled that he has a title shot in his back pocket. But it's Brandon Scott who finally gets a measure of revenge. Oh no.
I didn't do anything. I wasn't part of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was unfair. It was wrong. I didn't do anything. It was him.
My partner is many things, but a coward first and foremost. Brandon Scott, the bravest Brandon in the building.
I will not argue with that.
In a match that featured 3, Brandon Scott with the big win to end his 2025 on a high note.
Our following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the VCW Liberty Championship. Introducing first the challenger, hailing from Port Royal, South Carolina, and weighing in at 225 pounds, Luke Johnson, L.D.J.
The second of 3 title matches here at VCW's Tidings of Destruction. L.D.J. came so close to winning the Liberty Championship at our last event, our debut in Fredericksburg, Virginia. He quite literally pinned Commander King, the reigning champion, but there were 2 referees in the ring. The original referee did not see the pin and threw the match out due to an earlier attack by Commander King. A disqualification annulled the title change, and so L.D.J. has another opportunity, and he says tonight the tasks are defeat Commander King again, take home that Liberty Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Operation Liberty is a go.
Introducing his opponent, now residing at Mount Vernon, Virginia, weighing in at 222 pounds, he is the reigning and defending VCW Liberty Champion, Commander King.
But it's not going to be an easy task to put warheads on this forehead, because Commander King does not come alone. The head of the administration has hired Julian Powell-Riddick to be his personal not-so-secret service this evening. The usual right hand of his administration, Big AC, unfortunately, unexpectedly on the inactive duty. But Commander King always has a plan and money in his pockets, and he has now brought out JPR, former security here at VCW. He has graduated from bouncer to bodyguard, and he is a massive amount of man for L.D.J. to have to overcome, in addition to Commander King, who in addition to being the Liberty champion is pound for pound the strongest man on the VCW roster.
It's be interesting to see this match, Jason. Only 3 pounds between them in terms of weight, but very different athletes, very different builds.
Very different attitudes, different mentalities. And while L.D.J. has been the greatest threat so far to Commander King's reign, Commander King is really staking claim at potentially being the greatest Liberty champion of all time. That's not hyperbole. He has held the belt, I believe, at this point now, if not more, closing in on a full calendar year.
Absolutely, it's been a remarkable run with that championship. We see potentially a new member of the administration here tonight. I'm not sure if this is a mercenary or a full-time member, but we see Julian Powell-Riddick joining with Commander King.
So far, it is a one-night assignment, but it could also be an audition for bigger things in the future. L.D.J., a man on a mission, and that mission tonight, put warheads on foreheads and walk out with the gold, then enjoy a stogie.
He appears to have one ready right now.
Early celebration. A man who knows he can get the job done.
Absolutely. Look, it was a controversial disqualification win for L.D.J. Could very easily have been an actual pinfall victory and a title change. So Commander King, if he's trying to play mind games, I don't think they're going to work with L.D.J.
Whether L.D.J. walked out and won the title or not, he definitively did pin Commander King 1, 2, 3. That's got to get in the head of Commander King to know he is vulnerable. That's a huge difference between L.D.J. and, for example, the longtime rival of Commander King, Myron Malone, because L.D.J. has proven he can get the job done, whereas Myron Malone was ever so close.
That's absolutely right. L.D.J. is really a different kind of opponent, a different threat of opponent for Commander King. And we've seen when L.D.J. gets his mission, he gets the job done.
Straight ahead focus, does not get paid if he does not complete the task. Tonight he's looking to pull the pin.
The thing with L.D.J. is we have seen how, if you'll pardon the pun with your saying pull the pin, how explosive he can be, how fast he can hit, how hard he can hit.
He wants to watch Commander King's title reign go boom.
And celebrate with a few stigma stogies afterwards, I think. I mean, the crowd clearly behind L.D.J. Commander King acting like it doesn't bother him, but you gotta wonder if that gets in his head. He has been roundly booed basically everywhere he's gone since he won the championship. L.D.J.'s got, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches looks like on Commander King. Commander King's got a few pounds on L.D.J., or sorry, a few pounds less than L.D.J., so with a very, very narrow physical edge to the challenger.
But make no mistake, Commander King is the tank of VCW. The man is a lean, mean, powerlifting machine. The exercise, the extra weight is not going to be the same kind of advantage for L.D.J. in this match. It would be against almost any other opponent.
Now, emphasis on what you said about lean, mean fighting machine. Commander King has been working tremendously hard to trim down, but he's managed to not lose any muscle in the process. He is still just as strong as he's the strongest pound-for-pound athlete in this company, but he's managed to drop about 25 pounds and just be shredded. Very, very dangerous man in that ring.
Exceptional cardiovascular conditioning, both these athletes, but Commander King in particular. We have seen an evolution of L.D.J. over the years. He used to be a bit of a frat boy, and now ever since becoming the independent contractor of pro wrestling, there is a different focus. We've seen a lot more success out of him since he stopped being a Sigma male and started being, well, a serviceman.
Yes. Soldier of fortune, I believe, is the commonly used phrase.
I think the less that we say, the better for all of our health.
Yes, I think that's very true. I do not want to have any mysterious car accidents. The other thing with L.D.J. is he's clearly found his place in this wrestling world. He has found a style that works for him. He's found people that work for him, and he's been very successful. He had a very successful run in the Liberty Lottery this year. He's put together a few wins, and again, as we said before, could very easily be the Liberty champion right now. Arguably should be.
In many ways, the uncrowned king of Virginia is L.D.J. if L.D.J. believed in kings, which he most certainly does not.
No, absolutely no kings for L.D.J., no question about that.
Especially not a commander king.
Certainly not.
This very match for L.D.J. is a bit of a no kings protest.
Well, he is hoping to take the king's crown in this case and take that championship back to wherever it is he goes. I don't know and I don't want to know.
Looking to commit regicide with nuclear force. And of course, we can't forget Julian Powell-Riddick, the literal and figurative power on the outside. We saw Mr. Pantas interceding on behalf of his client, Papadon. Are we going to see the same with Julian Powell-Riddick, or is he just there to provide security?
He hasn't moved. He has stood as still as a statue and just watched. And it's somewhat unsettling. I feel like there's just a lot of anger and power waiting to explode.
When you are the size of JPR, you don't have to move to be intimidating.
You know, just that look he's giving L.D.J. is sufficient intimidation.
L.D.J. forcing the head of Commander King into the turnbuckle, immediately following up with that big splash. Man on a mission!
Very impressive athleticism in all ways from L.D.J. there. Really has control of this match right now.
You talked about just how lean and mean Commander King has gotten. And there, Julian Power finds his spot and takes it.
Really been waiting for that moment. Grabbed the challenger. Didn't hurt him, but was just enough to stop him from hurting Commander King, and now allowing Commander King to take control.
And there is no soft underbelly. Julian Riddick going more than just behind the referee's back, now bludgeoning L.D.J. This is a disqualification. And there is champion's advantage, so this is not a win for Commander King, but it's also not a title loss. We need more help, we need more security. This has become a 2-on-1 mugging. And however big and bad we've said accurately L.D.J. and Commander King are, Julian Powell-Riddick twice as much. And here comes Devantes.
Oh, there's some power for you. The crowd thrilled. This is the Hoss of all Hosses. You have to wonder if this was part of the plan for Commander King the whole way through, sending in Julian Powell-Riddick, but certainly Devantes coming out, not part of the plan.
The former VCW champion was originally supposed to face Big AC. With AC not here, he was a man without a match, and clearly Devantes not interested in sitting in the back. Whoa.
No. We ain't gonna send the fans home not happy, are we? No. Since you all hired this new pisshead and getting involved in my VCW Liberty Championship, how about you two betas, pissheads, versus me and the Hoss of Hosses in a tag team match?
pretty sure this is going to cost Commander King extra. This is not what Julian Powell-Riddick signed up for, but he is being put into this position. A unique combination of men, because aside from Julian Powell-Riddick, all three of the other competitors, Devantes, L.D.J, and Commander King, have something in common. They are all former members of the Sharky Tank, which says two things. One, Neil Sharkey knows how to scout talent, and two, L.D.J looking to get a quick pin. All three of these men have seen their fortunes skyrocket since going out on their own.
Absolutely, it's been remarkable to see all three of these men win championships at all different levels and really excel and be some of the biggest stars in the past year for VCW. But as you said, they know each other very, very well, and this is an interesting match to see. And Julian Powell-Riddick, the real X factor there. There's no tape on him. There's no book on him. He's just big and scary.
Only recently debuted as a professional wrestler, a long-time security guard looking to cross the ropes into in-ring competition, and what a baptism by fire it will be to go against both L.D.J and the Hoss of all Hosses. This could end quickly, and Devantes does not work by the hour.
I mean, Devantes just flying around the ring, always impressive with a man of his size, that he can move that fast and that explosively. It's really just, it's something to behold in person, folks.
Devantes known for shock and awe offense. If you want shock and awe, bring in L.D.J, as he says, looking to put a warhead on a forehead and nuke somebody's butt.
Goes in the cover there.
L.D.J again being robbed of the opportunity to win the Liberty Championship, but does have the chance to score a second pinfall on Commander King.
Well, that gives him now another disqualification victory over Commander King. You gotta believe he's still in line for a championship match.
L.D.J not afraid of anyone or anything,
but allowed himself to get distracted and eats a drop kick out of it from Commander King.
Look at the ability of Commander King to fly and just land that drop kick right on the forehead. He's heard a little too much about how there's supposed to be warheads on his foreheads. He's targeting the chrome dome of L.D.J.
Well, it's very clear Commander King wants to prove he is the better man, that he deserves to be champion. And L.D.J no longer deserves to have the championship matches. I think it's because Commander King is worried about it, but right now he's doing very well.
Tag now into JPR in a match full of powerhouses. Somehow the most inexperienced man has the most raw power at his disposal.
I mean, when you get that much mass moving quickly, it's going to make bad things happen.
This is the first chapter in the Chronicles of Riddick here in VCW. What an incredible accomplishment it would be if he could end that chapter with a victory over either L.D.J. or maybe even more impressively, the former VCW champion, Devantes.
Absolutely. Either of those victories would be a huge jump. You couldn't be more right, Jason. I think Devantes would be a massive early step in Julian Powell-Riddick's career. Although I'm sure
it would be more than a feather, it would be the whole bird.
Absolutely. Have a whole turkey sitting on top of his head. Kind of like that hat that Commander King wears.
Gotta appreciate the fighting spirit of Devantes, who refused to sit in the back. Could have won the money on the forfeit, given that his opponent was not here. Big AC on the inactive list, unfortunately. But what a scouting assignment it is for Commander King to have Julian Powell-Riddick here and wrestling this match. So much weight on the shoulders. Not a great cover there to start, but this is a very young man at the very beginning of his training.
Look, when Devantes comes ready to fight, he wants a fight. If his match isn't going to happen as scheduled, he's going to find another one to get involved in, and this one just happened to open up perfectly for him.
Riddick tried to bait Devantes, but Devantes, such a veteran, did not take that bait, and instead, Devantes keeps his cool, referee still in position.
Bear hug here, old school, but very effective. It stuck around for a reason, folks. It's because it works.
Especially when your opponent is the size of a grizzly.
And those elbows to the side of the head. breaking the grip of Julian Powell-Riddick. L.D.J. in the wrong side of town.
Whether intentional or not, L.D.J. just cleared the opposite corner of Commander King. Great cover this time by Julian Riddick, a man who clearly learns as he goes.
And really fantastic wrestling here. A really impressive debut here in this tag team environment in the Norfolk Masonic Temple for Julian Powell-Riddick. And as we've said many times, against three of the best here, or against two of the best, tagging with another one of the best here in VCW. Quite the start for Mr. Powell-Riddick's career.
We saw Riddick enter in the Liberty Lottery, but a tag team match is very different than a battle royal. We're going to see just how deep in the weeds Riddick can go in terms of technique, in terms of conditioning.
But also how much he can take getting hit in the mouth. It's a lot more one-on-one physical attacks, physical contact in a regular match, and how you respond to that really is very telling of how you're going to be as a wrestler.
We already see Riddick maybe beginning to tire a little bit. He has so much power, but he is going against three absolute engines in the ring compared to Commander King, Devantes, and L.D.J.
Yeah, a man of that size is going to burn fuel, burn oxygen very quickly. He needs to get in, get out, or if not, he needs to tag Commander King because he is clearly starting to run on empty.
Or is that what Commander King is paying him for? Did Commander King say, hey, you're going to take this match? I already wrestled against L.D.J. I don't want any more ring time, so I'm putting you out there. You be the block, you be the wall, you be the shield.
That's very possible. I mean, I don't think Commander King much cares if he wins or loses a tag team match, as long as he keeps his championship, which he's going to do.
Disagree. Hard disagree. Commander King is a competitor. For money and ego, not a single wrestler wants to lose a match.
I agree with that. I think, let me rephrase, I don't think he cares if Julian Powell-Riddick loses this match.
Well, I think he cares if Julian Powell-Riddick loses it for him, because that goes under the administration's record.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. But I also think that if it's the choice between winning a match and saving himself physically, the Commander's going to save himself physically.
The question is, does that have to be a choice? If Julian Powell-Riddick is as good as the man claims he is, if he's worth the price of admission, he's going to get both of those things for the price of one.
I mean, right now, whatever that investment is, it is paying off because he's doing very well. Doing an excellent job keeping L.D.J. from the corner, now driving him back towards Commander King's corner.
Have you ever seen the Great Wall move? Because that's exactly what happened.
That was a very impressive suplex there. 1, 2, and L.D.J. able to kick out. And now sinking in that rear chin lock. Lots of mass, lots of power behind that, choking the life out of L.D.J. Look, a pass out wins just as well as a tap out or a pin does.
Riddick proving to be a moving barricade, keeping L.D.J. both away from his partner, but also from Commander King.
A really excellent work here, and now sending L.D.J. in the corner. Very smart wrestling by the young man. L.D.J. trying to fight out, still a long way away.
Commander King was in no rush to tag. Big reach. Going underneath now. If you can't go above, go below.
Powell-Riddick's got him still. Can L.D.J. make the tag? Yes, he can! Devantes and Commander King now legal men of the match.
Commander King realizes he can't afford to stay out, but Devantes, the freshest man in the match, the most recent former VCW champion, has been obsessed with getting that championship back.
He's fired up all day. All it takes, though, is that one German suplex, that incredible core strength from Commander King, and we see now just that power that lies underneath the singlet of Commander King.
There is no one on the roster that Commander King can't throw around, but I guess the same can be said of Devantes.
Devantes saying, anything you can do, I can do better. Very impressive German suplex, sending Commander King across the ring, and Devantes now fully in control.
Riddick makes the save.
Just barely.
Being grabbed by the beard.
Oh, a choke slam.
When Riddick lacks in technique, he makes up for it in enthusiasm. He just downed the former champion.
Commander King directing traffic in there. L.D.J. still out on the outside.
This is Riddick's what? I think 4th, 5th professional match ever.
I believe that is correct.
He is going to be devastatingly dangerous, and Commander King, with that double axe handle, the effects wearing down all of these athletes.
Julian Powell-Riddick there, not in position, not able to stop L.D.J from breaking up the pin. Low bridge.
Riddick got lured, and now Devantes moves over for the legal tag. Commander King has been targeted.
One does the spear, and out to the outside, taking out Julian Powell-Riddick.
The opposition is in sight. King struggling to get to his feet. And King has been compromised. That's 3 separate victories that L.D.J. holds over the Liberty champion without taking the title. 2 by disqualification, 1 by pinfall in the tag match. And of course, unofficially, L.D.J. also got a pinfall victory 2 months ago over Commander King. It is safe to say that L.D.J. may well have Commander King's number.
Absolutely, Jason. The mission is not complete, but I have a feeling L.D.J. is going to have yet another shot to take the title, complete the mission, because he seems to have everything he needs to become the new Liberty champion.
L.D.J. gaining yards, incremental progress, but that's not enough for this man. And of course, the assist goes to the Haas of all Haas's, the former VCW champion, Devantes. What a unit these two make. Tidings of Destruction has been absolutely incredible. We still have another championship match and the Destruction Derby to go. Don't you dare miss it.
Tidings of Destruction continues with our Destruction Derby match. In this match, there are no countouts, no disqualifications. The first man to score a pinfall or submission will be the winner. Introducing the participants. First, hailing from Long Beach, California, weighing at 215 pounds, Sunshine Daddy Grandview.
It is time for the annual spectacle of carnage, chaos, and collision. This is the Destruction Derby. 6 competitors will enter. There are next to no rules. The winner can count themselves as the up-and-comer for the ensuing year. I am Jason Heat. I'm one half of your host here at VCW Tidings of Destruction alongside Brandon Metheny, and we are now into the entrance. First up is Sunshine Danny Grandview. Not only a professional wrestler, a former championship beach volleyball star and table tennis competitor. Young and cocky.
Introducing competitor number 2. He hails from Slick Street, USA. And weighing at 229 pounds, this is Too Slick, Ryan Zukko.
The last few months have seen VCW restocking our covers, scouting, selecting, and trying out some of the best talent on the Eastern Seaboard tonight. A number of those young men have the opportunity to cement themselves here in VCW, and that includes the Slick Man from Slick Street, USA, Ryan Zukko. He stopped by Virginia Beach earlier, kicked the sand into the faces of a couple squares, and then called me Four Eyes. And amidst all the mayhem, a debut. What a match to walk into your first night in VCW. The representation of red-blooded American athleticism. A blue-chip pro wrestler. This is the Experience Chase Emery. A mat-based technician, D1 college athlete, but is being the best on the mat really going to help or hinder this young man's chances in the pro wrestling equivalent of a car crash?
Introducing competitor number 4, he hails from parts unknown and weighing in at 150 pounds. This is Techno!
The high flyer from the future knows how to make an impression. An entrance unlike any other. Fly through the air with the greatest of ease, but can he overcome 5 competitors in the Destruction Derby? There's no countouts. There's no disqualifications. Not the man with the greatest size in the fight, but that has never stopped Techno before.
Introducing competitor 5, hailing from Richmond, Virginia, and weighing in at 201 pounds, Myron Malone!
We talked about a match of up-and-comers, but this is the up-and-comer. We thought 2025 was going to be Myron Malone's year, and he came so close to winning the big one. But no Liberty title victory. No Liberty Lottery victory. No tag team title win this year. How many times can Myron be a runner-up before the opportunity stops?
The 6th and final competitor, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing at 265 pounds,
one of these things is not like the other. Not to say he doesn't belong, but in a match that seemingly represents the future of ECW, the Boar is definitively the present. He is the former VCW champion, the enormity of execution, the total porkage, Pig Daddy Cool, quite simply, it's Boar! But the man who used to be the VCW champion, the man who most recently was vying in the main event of the biggest event in our company's history, is now here in the Destruction Derby. And this is opportunity. This is battle. But for the Boar, does it represent a slide backwards in fortune? A man who has been so synonymous with the main event here in VCW, surrounded by up and coming young and hungry talent who would be just as happy to barbecue this man and feast on his corpse as they would to take his advice in the locker room.
That's extremely graphic, but I think accurate. I mean,
it was meant to be a pig metaphor, but
I mean, I understood it. It's still graphic.
It's true, but this is the Destruction Derby. It is going to be violent. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be carnage. And right now, one Boar stands alone.
And Boar just effortlessly throwing Techno, dropping Chase Emery, dropping Myron Malone too. Danny Grandview stands by himself and looks not too thrilled about it.
Danny Grandview looking to prove it's always sunny here in Norfolk. Danny Grandview wants to win 2 two things tonight. He's looking to win the match, and he's looking to win the attentions and affections of a lady for a post-match celebration.
That sounds about right. Yeah, Danny Grandview is, I don't want to say slimy, but he has a few things on his mind, and not all of them are above board. Oh, it looks like Techno's going to fly in a way he doesn't like.
Techno, great balance.
Managed to escape there.
Exceptional agility.
I'm not sure I put myself in that position. Very smart baiting Boar in.
Playing the role of Matador tonight is Techno. Who knew a Boar could stampede?
Techno's speed really helping him out here. Boar not able to really get a handle on him. And a beautiful DDT there.
For the first time, Boar taken off his feet, and now that glitter drizzle. Long-time rivalry between these two men. They've been partners, they've been enemies, and Myron Malone trying to take Techno out very early on in this match.
And remember, folks, this is one fall to a finish. If you have an opening to try to get 3, you take it, because you don't know if it's going to pop back up again. This match can very quickly.
Or it can take a very long time because you've got so many combustible elements you have to keep an eye on, and it is first fall to a finish. There is no benefit in letting someone else take the glory. We're going to see a lot of pin interruptions here in this match if people have the opportunity.
No, but there is benefit in letting people wear each other down.
That was insane offense by Techno. Never let up, never let go. And here's Chase Emery ripping Techno off.
And Emery showing his strength. Just avoids third time on to Myron Malone.
A brutal German suplex. And now one for Myron Malone as well. This is that mat ability that Chase Emery is so known for. This is our first chance of seeing Chase Emery here in VCW.
Techno splattered in the corner. As Emery's going to try to suplex both men. Holy cow!
2-for-1 special. It is the holiday season. Looks like Germans are on sale.
And Ryan Zukko trying to come in. Doesn't get the advantage he's looking for. And Danny Grandview with a very smart, very well-placed chop block there.
While no means friends, Zukko and Grandview trained together. They've come up together, and now Zukko actually saving Danny Grandview.
I think we saw right before that, Jason, a brief partnership of these two men coming together. It is quite smart if you can take out everyone else. It's not elimination, so you can functionally eliminate them by knocking them out.
That was like shooting a clay pigeon. That European uppercut on Techno, and it is 2-on-1 now. Grandview and Zukko working together until the sudden but inevitable betrayal, because this is going to have to be each man for themselves, but it's smart. Cull the field and then fight it out amongst yourselves.
Absolutely, and there it is, a handshake. These two are ready to run everyone else out of this match, and then I guess see who's the better man between the two of them.
Question is, how long and how far can they trust each other?
Well, that's the thing is, you work together and weaken someone, but then there's a temptation to try to pin them, and then suddenly the partnership falls apart.
If they are playing the long game, they will dominate and destroy all 4 other men and then fight amongst themselves. Of course, you run the risk that someone recovers and takes advantage of you in that moment. There is a lot to think about in a match like this.
Zukko very smartly, by the way, keeping Boar on the outside while Grandview works the match, although a very, very nice spinning neckbreaker by Zukko there, putting Myron Malone in the center of the ring.
Ryan Zukko, wise beyond his years.
And yet again, Zukko keeping Boar on the outside. Oh, behind Zuko's back!
And Zukko didn't even see.
And Grandview pleading innocence right now. Not very convincingly in my book.
Very opportunistic of Danny Grandview and Myron Malone, who has spent this year being the bridesmaid in so many ways. Can he put an exclamation point on 2025 and finally win the big one?
Well, I don't know. We have both halves of this partnership fighting the Boar, trying to keep him on the outside. Again, very smart keeping the big man out there. Myron Malone still in the ring. I mean, you can win a match there, but you also can lose it there, and Malone's in a bad way right now.
The longer Zukko and Grandview work together, the more it seems to be an effective pairing. Maybe they'll get on the same page, but now it's Zukko behind Grandview's back.
Grandview just realizing he heard a hand hit the mat.
I wouldn't say it's Academy Award-winning acting right there by Ryan Zukko, but maybe Golden Globes.
Perhaps. It seems to be maybe working. I'm not sure. Grandview asking the crowd if he went for a pin.
Game recognizes game. Snake recognizes snake.
That's for sure.
It doesn't do either man any good to turn on each other until there's clear advantage. So they'll take their opportunities and then continue to work together as long as it's serving their interests.
It doesn't look any good, but the question is, can they resist it? And both men working
under no circumstances. But how long and how effective will they be until that, and I say it again, sudden but inevitable betrayal?
It's a great one. So far, the answer is very effective. It's just a question of what happens when that betrayal occurs. And now both men going for a cover.
Two hearts with just one mind. They're actually both doing very, very well. They may not have won the favor of the crowd, but they have dominated the field of the Destruction Derby. And here we go. Tempers have flared.
It'll have to come apart eventually. And look on the top row, folks.
Slick versus Sunshine, but it's Chase Emery giving them the experience up close and personal.
Beautiful high cross body. Now some clotheslines and back elbows. Chase Emery taking control as the partnership completely dissolves.
Exceptional athleticism by Chase Emery, and for the first time in a long time, neither Danny Grandview or Ryan Zukko are factors in this match. Techno coming in.
Kick by Techno there, going back in the ropes.
Whatever area code it is, Techno is a danger.
Beautiful modified flatliner almost there. Techno now the only man in the ring.
You can't win if you have no opponents.
He needs someone in there, but looks like he's got something else in his mind right now.
Techno going bowling for bodies, and it's a strike.
Takes out, I think, Zukko and Grandview on the outside. Myron Malone back in the ring and on very wobbly legs.
Has never met a spotlight he hasn't liked. Myron Malone likes to be the center of attention. Can he make the most of this moment? Oh, Myron, watch out! He just became a bug on a windshield.
Yeah, Boar got his way back in the ring and immediately made Myron Malone pay for it.
The favorite of this match in terms of experience, in terms of power, in terms of resume, but there are so many wild cards in the ring.
In a match like this, things can change very, very quickly, and the match can end very quickly before you even realize what's going on.
We've seen Boar take a lot of risks ever since losing that title, and this one did not pay off.
Danny Grandview very smart, though, into the opportune moment. And now, if I were him, I'd try to pin Myron Malone. But Grandview wants to show off, it seems.
Danny Grandview has really impressed ECW officials. But Myron Malone has been on the cusp of superstardom. Is this the moment he breaks over the edge?
A beautiful flipping scent onto the outside. Malone taking out all 5 men. If he can get one of them in the ring, Jason, he may win the match right here.
The glitter drizzle always shines brightest. That's an old saying.
Yeah, I've heard it's been said for many years. It comes from the old country, from the shtetl.
Absolutely, it's Yiddish for Myron Malone is awesome.
There's no question about that. Myron Malone shining like that ball on New Year's Eve. Can he close this out as we come to the end of 2025?
But Ryan Zukko has been a force in this Destruction Derby. No doubt Ryan Zukko has all the potential to run away with this.
And I will tell you, when I was doing ring introductions, Ryan Zukko said repeatedly about Myron Malone, I don't like that guy, so some history here, and Zukko taking Malone down to size.
Ryan Zukko drove his T-Bird with his best girl down 95 to get the victory in this Destruction Derby. He is not going to look forward to a long ride home coming up short with his sweetie.
Chase Emery very impressive back in the ring. And Myron contributing with punches to the head. As we said, folks, it's just chaos out there right now.
Chase Emery taking advantage of Zukko's handiwork, but no, it is Zukko in position to capitalize.
And Myron Malone used as an unaware weapon against the Boar.
Board and coast to coast. Zukko is unconscious.
Yeah, he just got kicked into next week. He's going to wake up in 2026.
Last man standing, improbably, is Danny Grandview going after Myron Malone. Grandview doesn't get it done, but now going against perhaps the last to take a hit.
Grandview's trying till he gets a win.
Third time's the charm. It is not.
There's not. There are only 2 left. Is Grandview? Now he's going for Chase Emery here.
The best things come in 4s.
I hear 5 is nice too.
All right, this one's definitely going to be a bit of a stretch. But getting the win over Boar, what a huge moment it would be in the career of Sunshine Danny Grandview.
Boar kicks out and sits up, and he looks angry, very angry. And Grandview looks like he has just seen a ghost, and I think has realized the error of his ways.
Looking at the ghost of Pig's past right in the snout. Boar is war.
Boar ready to, oh, you saw that kick coming.
Pig Daddy Cool catches the boot, and sun's out. Lights out for Danny Grandview. That's an eclipse.
And Boar now setting up Zukko for a very, very nasty spear.
That's not a spear, that's a gore.
Pardon me, that is in fact a gore. The move that has won him championships. Chase Emery trying for a German suplex. I admire the Moxie kid, but not gonna happen this time.
Great success earlier in the match with those Germans, but you gotta pick your opponents.
Oh, Boar catching Techno. Gonna go 2 for 1 potentially.
Choke slams in stereo.
Incredible strength, 1 more to go.
It comes down to 2 fan favorites, the Boar and Myron Malone. Some may say the present versus the future. Where do we live now?
Oh, very nice counter. Malone had enough time to get his wits about him.
Myron Malone came so close to winning the Liberty Lottery, so close to winning the Liberty title. Is it going to be so close but not close enough tonight?
Boar teetering but catching for the choke slam. Has him up.
Myron's got Boar rolled up, and what an upset!
Here is your winner, Myron Malone!
That is not a bridesmaid, that is a beautiful bride at the very last stroke of midnight here in 2025 for VCW. Myron Malone wins the big one. He is the sole survivor of the Destruction Derby.
An incredible win, a huge momentum, career-changing win for Myron Malone. This could, who knows what 2026 is going to hold now. You got to believe he's going to be in line for several championship matches after that. An incredible win over all 5 men in this match, especially the veteran, the former champion, the Boar.
Momentous occasion for Myron Malone, but the story remains in the center of the ring. The Boar, who ever since falling short in that triple threat at the Liberty Lottery.
Oh, hang on. Here comes Tim Lulis.
Why?
I don't know. I did not ask him to come out here.
This is like a lump of coal in my stocking, and particularly for the Boar, this has got to be salt in a very fresh wound.
I would not get in that ring with the Boar if I were Tim Lulis. Of course, there's lots of things that I wouldn't do that Tim Lulis does.
I know that's not who I think it is. Boy, sulking on a mat. Man, you just lost to Myron, Techno, and half those guys I don't even heard of before. You were the VCW heavyweight champions. And you lost the chance to get that back. You lost the Dirty Money Cup. I gotta tell you, man, since the summertime, the weather isn't the only thing that got cooler. So is your career. Whoa. Wait. I have something for you, man. I have something for you. I'm working on something big, man. I'm working on something big. It's massive. Okay, listen. Under my guidance,
Under my guidance, I can take you to heights never seen before. I can get you your gold back. I can get you your gold back. Now listen, you don't have to give me an answer tonight, okay? You don't have to give me an answer tonight. Take the time to think about it over the holidays, all right? Take the time to think about it over the holidays, but don't wait too long. February 7th, right back at Masonic Temple, I want an answer. Have a Merry Christmas, man. February 7th.
Absolutely heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a very good point. Tim Luley's may spew BS 9 out of 10 times, but Luley's is right. Ever since the summer, the Boar has been struggling. You want to be a little more blunt. The Boar has been floundering, and maybe something does need to change, but is it at all possible that that thing is Tim Luley's?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our main event of the evening, a one-fall match for the ECW Virginia Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger, hailing from Waynesboro, Virginia, weighing 202 pounds. He is a former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, a former TNA X Division Champion, a former ECW TV Champion, and a 5-time NWA Tag Team Champion, Kid Kash!
The word legend gets thrown around a little too loosely and a little too liberally in professional wrestling, but there is no denying the legendary status of the challenger for the VCW Virginia Heavyweight Championship. The resume speaks for itself. You heard Brandon Metheny say, a former WWE, TNA, WCW, and ECW star, a WWE Cruiserweight Champion, ECW Television Champion, not only a TNA X Division Champion, but one of the men who put that division on the map and innovated and elevated the style of wrestling that now dominates the landscape. 35 years of experience, enters the ring. Kid Kash is money, but he'll make more money if he wins the VCW Heavyweight Championship.
Introducing his opponent, hailing from Orlando, New York, weighing 275 pounds. He is the main attraction, the Papadon Poseidon, the heavy metal monster, the reigning Virginia Champion, Lawless.
Talk about a man who's all about the money and the finer things in life. Rex Lawless won the VCW title at Liberty Lottery, the biggest event in our company's history. And since then, the heavy metal Monstar has been on an absolute tear. But he has also been a tyrant backstage with his demands that border on the ludicrous. He showed up to the building tonight with a 17-person entourage and demanded private bottle service in his dressing room.
And he got it because he's the champion. When you are the champion, you have the gold, when you are the standard bearer for the company, you can make those demands and they will happen. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing, but it's true. It's a fact. And it's something Rex Lawless has certainly taken advantage of.
A man who wears sunglasses at night, no one has the temerity to point it out to him. He's not just getting what he wants because he's the champ. We've had a lot of champions. We haven't had one the size or the strength of the heavy metal Monstar. I mean, this is a man that can crush a human skull with his bare hands. He can pop a watermelon with his thighs. Pecs that look like the Goodyear blip, and of course, abs so firm you could grate cheese on them.
I hear he has. He sells it for a premium.
I've seen it. It's a very popular TikTok in certain circles. But there is one man in this building who has no time for the tomfoolery, the shenanigans, or the glitz and the glamour, and that is Kid Kash, a surly SOB if there ever was one.
Absolutely. Kash is a champion all over the world in every major company you've ever heard of, and he is a real challenge for Rex Lawless here. That wily veteran instinct, the been everywhere, done everything, and I wouldn't put it past him to win the championship tonight.
No, Kash has given up size, given up strength. What else is new? That has been the story of Kid Kash's entire career. He fights like a pit bull.
And it's successful. He's got that instinct. He's got the killer instinct. He's got the ability to strike hard and fast and to win matches very, very quickly. And Lawless taking a little bit of timeout on the outside.
The man is over 50 years old. I would say I want to be in that kind of shape when I turn that age, but let's not lie. I'm not in that shape now, nor have I ever been.
No, not even close. Kid Kash, really a physical specimen out there. At his age, at any age, in impressive shape, and still in the ring, challenging for championships at 50 plus years old. It's really incredible to see, and looks like he could go for another 60 minutes.
It's not the body that makes Kid Kash dangerous, it's the mind. It is the level of experience and intellect that Kid Kash has with 35 years as a pro wrestler. Took several years off recently to recharge his body. He's back. Maybe not better than ever physically, but certainly mentally and physically not doing so shabby.
No, he's very close to as good as he's ever been physically and mentally and intelligently in terms of experience he brings and things he looks for, second to none. I mean, it's very, very dangerous. And Rex Lawless teasing him right now, which is a very poor choice.
You want to talk about best they've ever been physically? That's Rex Lawless. He is a man in his prime. This is peak competition for Rex Lawless, and he is making the most of this moment. As pectoral Poseidon sending quakes around the building as he plays the bongos with those.
Rex Lawless is perpetually in the best shape of his life. He is a physical specimen. He practically lives at the gym, and it shows in the way that he works in the ring. And Rex Lawless getting, I think, slightly frustrated with Kid Kash, and thumb to the eye ends this little game and puts the challenger on the front foot.
Simple and effective. Kid Kash will not be intimidated by Rex Lawless.
Yeah, I mean, if Rex Lawless thinks he can intimidate a man who has seen and done the things Kid Kash has, he is uncharacteristically foolish.
Rex Lawless, very full of himself, but certainly not walking in with eyes shut. He knows he's facing Kid Kash, an extreme original.
Kash he's got those pit bulls on his tights for a reason. He is unforgiving. He has done it all. He has seen it all. And if he gets a hold of Rex Lawless with a couple of good shots, he can win this championship tonight. Although right now, Lawless with a clear upper hand.
Lawless screaming, should have stayed home to Kid Kash, trying to get in the head of the veteran. The longer this match goes, the more it does favor Rex Lawless, who despite being massive in size, does have phenomenal conditioning. And as we said, this is only the third match Kid Kash has had since his return to the ring, so there is got to be a little bit of ring rust that comes with that.
Absolutely, and most of those matches have been tag matches, so even more adjustment to being back in the singles ranks, and not just singles, but against a man like Rex Lawless for a championship like the Virginia Heavyweight Championship. It's really ramping things up to a very significant level.
Kid Kash has been preparing, has been in fight camp, now trying to pick the leg of Rex Lawless, which is like trying to rip a tree trunk with your bare hands. It's possible, but it's not likely.
No, but the tree trunks don't have soft and breakable tendons inside of them that Kash is going for. Though Lawless clearly in control right now. And Kash trying to protect himself in the corner there.
Rex Lawless imposing his will on the former WWE, TNA, ECW champion. I mean,
and NWA.
You name 3 letters synonymous with pro wrestling, chances are Kid Kash has been there and done that, but he hasn't yet done it here in VCW. This is a new mountain for Kash to climb.
And a literal mountain of a man in Rex Lawless, just a giant of a human being, intimidating in every way, even before he starts throwing those punches and kicks in the ring.
To most men, absolutely Rex Lawless is intimidating. To Kid Kash, I'm not sure. Maybe just a big piece of meat to eat up. Kid Kash there with 2. That's not to take anything away from Lawless. It's just that Kid Kash is fearless. 2 again for Rex Lawless.
Absolutely, Kid Kash will go, and that's one of the reasons he's been so successful. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't wait to think what might happen tomorrow. He just goes in and he does it. And that is his commitment that has really elevated him to have such a great career. But right now you have to wonder if the youth and power of Lawless is going to win the game.
Well, Kash has had a phenomenal career, but he's also had a notably bad attitude throughout that career. He is not a man who suffers fools lightly. Rex Lawless, incredible accolades, but also a very big mouth. Gotta wonder just how much this is something of an opportunity for Kid Kash to show up the young upstart to their roll-up, simple but effective offense by Kid Kash.
Well, as you said, Jason, I mean, we saw Rex Lawless already yell at Kid Kash, you should have stayed home. But that sort of insult, that sort of trying to demean and diminish the veteran, it's just going to make him angry and make him more focused and make him want to win that much more.
Rex Lawless stalking Kash, but clutching his gut. Kash may have done some damage.
I don't think there's any question he's done damage. Whether he can exploit it to win the match and the championship is another thing altogether. But yeah, Lawless has taken some real hits in this match. This is not the functional night off I think he was expecting.
Hard shots as Kid Kash fights from underneath. No quarter asked for, none given by either man. And Rex Lawless is not taking it easy on Kid Kash with his legendary status or being an older wrestler.
Well, look at that. Rex Lawless had delivered that cannonball to devastating effect, but Kid Kash able to get out of the way, and now Kid Kash has a real advantage. He really could capitalize here. That's a lot of damage to Lawless's neck and shoulders hitting that corner like that.
It's the intelligence of Kid Kash on display that a lot of his most effective offense so far has actually just been avoidance and defense, allowing Rex Lawless to take himself out on multiple occasions.
Sure, I mean, look, he's like a poorly built arrow to shake itself apart. Same thing, Rex Lawless can hurt himself in the ring.
2 for Kid Kash, but very, very close to seeing a title change. And now Kid Kash maybe about to fly.
I mean, just because he's older and he can't do this, Rex Lawless is looking kind of on Dream Street right now.
Former X Division champion showing off that extreme style.
Just 2, Lawless able to kick out. Gotta wonder what does Kid Kash have left in the playbook? What big shots does he have to possibly win the championship? Because he's definitely in control right now.
Kash has learned from the best because he's been in the ring with the best. And if Lawless does get past Kid Kash, he's going to learn a thing or two by being in the ring and surviving the experience.
Rex Lawless taking a very long time here, perhaps too long with the veteran.
Low blow. Referee was taking a look at the time, and Kid Kash closer than he's ever been to becoming VCW champion.
That's that veteran instinct right there. He's not afraid to cut those corners when he can. Referee Ron Mills looking away at the exact instant Kid Kash took advantage of it. And
well, that's that rule-breaking spirit Kid Kash has been known for his entire career. Spear in the center of the ring to Kid Kash. And Rex Lawless with a decisive victory. "35 years in, Kid Kash, the spirit was willing, but the body less so. Rex Lawless is at the peak of his physical prowess, and the heavy metal Monstar ends 2025 reigning supreme over top this company."
Kid Kash took his moment, saw his spot, came within a hair's breadth to win the title, but the youth of Rex Lawless allowing him to kick out and hit the devastating spear to stay the Virginia Heavyweight Champion.
Kid Kash, a legendary challenger. We appreciate him gracing VCW with his presence, and while he could not get the championship tonight, he has earned the respect of the VCW faithful. We are ending this year with gratitude. Thank you for spending 2025 with us here at VCW. For Brandon Metheny, I am Jason Heat. We're going to hear from Kid Kash and say goodnight.
Norfolk. I'm sorry I didn't get it done for you. I guess I'm just an old man now. But I can still kick some of those young boys' asses. I want to thank everybody for coming out here and supporting this group. It's a whole dressing room full of extremely talented young men. The future of this business. I want to personally thank you all for coming and supporting these young men. I had 35 years in this business. From WWE, to WCW, to ECW, to TNA, New Japan, All Japan, all over the world, 77 different countries, 5 different world titles. If I can do it, I came from Waynesboro, Virginia. Not a second generation anything. I had a dream, and I took it on, and I didn't stop until I knew it was done. But it was because of people like you who come out here and you support what these people do and what we do. I want to thank you so much because everybody that you cheer on every time this show happens, that's one of the future superstars of this business. So thank you.